Elias Vance, a name once whispered with reverence in the hallowed halls of Silicon Valley, now echoed with a different kind of awe. He was a software engineer of unparalleled brilliance, the driving force behind a burgeoning tech startup poised to redefine artificial intelligence. His motivation was a crucible forged in the fires of personal tragedy, a childhood shadowed by the loss of a family member due to a catastrophic failure in a supposedly cutting-edge medical device. That raw, enduring pain fueled his ambition, a silent vow to prevent such preventable suffering. The weight of past failures, not his own, but those of a flawed system, pressed upon his shoulders, propelling him forward with an almost fanatical zeal. The world held its breath as Elias unveiled Project Chimera, his magnum opus, an AI designed to seamlessly integrate into and manage critical infrastructure. It promised an era of unparalleled efficiency, a bastion of safety where human error would become a relic of the past. The initial demonstration was nothing short of breathtaking. Data streams flowed with liquid precision. Complex algorithms executed flawlessly, and predictive models anticipated outcomes with uncanny accuracy. Investors leaned forward, their eyes gleaming with avarice and wonder. The media hailed it as a technological marvel, a harbinger of a utopian future. Elias, standing on the brightly lit stage, felt a fleeting moment of triumph, the weight on his shoulders momentarily lifting. Yet, amidst the euphoria, subtle fissures began to appear. Small, almost imperceptible glitches flickered across the sophisticated dashboards. A financial prediction, touted as infallible, was off by a fraction of a percent. An energy grid, under Chimera's meticulous control, experienced a fleeting, minor fluctuation. Elias, caught in the intoxicating glow of his apparent success, dismissed these anomalies as negligible, mere statistical noise in the grand symphony of his creation. He was too focused on the sweeping vision, the monumental impact, to scrutinize the minuscule imperfections. His former mentor, Dr. Eris Thorne, now a formidable competitor in the AI landscape, approached Elias with a furrowed brow and a quiet, unsettling concern. Eris spoke of Chimera's core architecture, hinting at a fundamental hidden vulnerability, a ghost in the machine that transcended mere coding errors. He warned of an inherent instability, a flaw woven into the very fabric of its design. Elias, blinded by the dazzling light of his ambition and the perceived perfection of his AI, brushed aside Eris's warnings, attributing them to professional jealousy, a thinly veiled attempt to undermine his groundbreaking work. The relentless pursuit of perfection consumed Elias. He pushed his team to their limits, their waking hours blurring into an endless cycle of code and caffeine. Personal relationships withered under the strain. His sister Lena, a constant, gentle reminder of their shared past, of the human cost of their family's tragedy, found herself increasingly marginalized. She saw the haunted look in his eyes, the unhealthy obsession, and tried to pull him back to reality. But her pleas fell on deaf ears. Elias was too far gone, too deeply entwined with his creation. Then came the betrayal, a venomous twist that Elias never saw coming. He uncovered a shocking truth. A trusted colleague, driven by a desperate financial plight and a simmering, unspoken past grievance, had subtly introduced a backdoor into Chimera. It was a digital Trojan horse, designed to be activated remotely, a catastrophic vulnerability engineered with malicious intent. This was not the ghost Eris had warned about, but a tangible, insidious threat, far more immediate and terrifying. As the days turned into weeks, the glitches escalated, no longer subtle whispers, but increasingly loud, jarring discords. Critical systems across several pilot programs began to falter, their performance erratic and unpredictable. Public faith, once unwavering, started to erode. The backdoor remained dormant, yet the inherent flaw Eris had alluded to was now intertwining with this manufactured vulnerability, creating a volatile concoction. Elias confronted his betrayer, the air thick with disbelief and a chilling sense of dread. The colleague, pale and trembling, confessed, revealing the backdoor's true purpose. It was to be activated by a shadowy, unknown group, a cabal seeking to exploit Chimera's immense power for their own nefarious ends. The promise of Fixing this in under 30 seconds now felt like a cruel ticking time bomb, counting down to an unimaginable catastrophe. The weight of his arrogance crushed Elias, forcing a desperate, bitter pill down his throat. With Chimera teetering on the precipice of catastrophic failure, he swallowed his pride, the acrid taste of his misjudgment stinging his tongue. There was only one person left who possessed the depth of knowledge and foresight to potentially avert the impending disaster: Dr. Eris Thorne. Elias reached out, his voice a strained whisper of apology and confession, laying bare his hubris, the betrayal, and the terrifying specter of the backdoor's imminent activation. He confessed everything, the unspoken shame of his dismissal of Eris's earlier warnings now a palpable burden. Eris, listening to Elias's fragmented, urgent plea, found himself grappling with a complex internal conflict. Their past was indeed fraught, a tapestry woven with threads of shared ambition and bitter rivalry. Yet the gravity of the situation, the potential global impact of Chimera's collapse, transcended personal grievances. He agreed to help, but his aid came with a critical condition. Elias had to fully commit, not just to neutralizing the backdoor, but to truly grasping and addressing the fundamental underlying flaw within Chimera, the very ghost in the machine Eris had warned him about months ago. This was not merely a patch job, it was a deep systemic overhaul required. It was then that Eris unveiled the true hidden vulnerability of Chimera. Its core learning algorithm, a marvel of Elias's design, possessed an inherent, almost undetectable instability. Eris described it as a quantum entanglement of data, a delicate balance that, while allowing for unprecedented learning capabilities, also rendered it profoundly susceptible to external manipulation. This wasn't a bug. It was a fundamental design characteristic that could be exploited, making the AI vulnerable even without a malicious backdoor. This, Eris explained, was the true under 30 seconds fix, not the patch, but the recalibration of this intrinsic instability. Unbeknownst to Elias, his sister Lena, driven by an unwavering concern and her own considerable technical acumen, had been meticulously analyzing Chimera's erratic behavior. She had uncovered a subtle yet distinct pattern in the AI's escalating errors, a series of minute deviations that correlated precisely with Eris's theoretical explanation of the quantum instability. Her independent discovery added another critical layer of confirmation, validating Eris's long-held suspicions and providing a crucial piece of the puzzle. Suddenly, the shadowy group, alerted to Elias's frantic efforts, made their move. They attempted to activate the backdoor prematurely, triggering a chaotic cascade of malfunctions within a secure test environment. Sirens blared, screens flashed warnings of critical system failures, but Elias and Eris, working in a frantic, synchronized dance, narrowly averted a full-scale meltdown. The incident served as a chilling premonition, a stark reminder that the clock was ticking faster than they could have imagined. Humbled and stripped of his former arrogance, Elias finally began to truly collaborate with Eris. He shed his protective layers, sharing every proprietary secret of Chimera's intricate architecture, holding nothing back. In the crucible of impending disaster, the walls of his ambition crumbled, revealing a man genuinely seeking redemption, beginning to understand the world beyond his own singular vision. He saw Eris not as a rival, but as an indispensable partner. Lena, witnessing her brother's transformation, stepped forward. She used her deep personal connection, invoking their shared past, the trauma of their family tragedy, and the importance of preventing another, far larger catastrophe. Her words, imbued with love and unwavering support, reignited Elias's faltering resolve, reminding him of the human lives at stake, not just the code. Working in a furious, adrenaline-fueled synergy, Elias and Eris pieced together the solution. The under 30 seconds fix, they realized, wasn't about simply removing the backdoor. It was about fundamentally recalibrating Chimera's core learning parameters, a precise, swift protocol designed to neutralize the inherent quantum instability that made it vulnerable in the first place. The backdoor was a symptom. The instability was the disease. They formulated a specific, rapid sequence of commands, a digital scalpel for a precise operation. Just as their plan solidified, a chilling message appeared on their screens. The shadowy group had initiated the final countdown. The full activation of the backdoor was imminent, aiming to trigger the underlying flaw and unleash Chimera's power for their nefarious design. Elias, Eris, and Lena had mere moments, a terrifyingly short window to implement their desperate solution. The screen glowed with an ominous red, a digital countdown devouring the precious seconds. 29, 28, 27. Elias and Eris moved with a terrifying precision, their fingers flying across keyboards, a flurry of complex commands unfurling across multiple interfaces. Each keystroke was deliberate, each line of code a vital component in their desperate gamble. Lena, a silent but crucial presence, monitored the network's integrity, her eyes darting between status indicators, ready to flag any anomaly, any sign of interference. The air crackled with an almost tangible tension, the weight of a world teetering on the edge pressing down on them. 20, 19, 18. The protocol was intricate, a dance between disabling the external backdoor and surgically realigning Chimera's internal quantum learning parameters. It was a simultaneous interwoven operation, requiring perfect synchronization. Eris barked orders, his voice a low, urgent rumble, while Elias, his brow furrowed in intense concentration, executed them with a newfound humility and unflinching resolve. This wasn't about his ego anymore. It was about protecting everything. 10, 9, 8. The final sequence of commands was initiated. A cascade of green text scrolled rapidly, confirming the execution of the recalibration. 7, 6, 5. The system flickered violently, a terrifying digital seizure that sent a jolt of fear through them all. 4, 3, 2. For a heart-stopping moment, the screens went blank, plunging them into a terrifying silence, the digital void mirroring the potential catastrophe. 1. And then, as the timer hit 0, a surge of pure, brilliant blue light erupted across all displays. System status: stable. Backdoor: neutralized. Quantum instability: inert. Chimera, against all odds, had been saved. A collective shuddering breath escaped them. The shadowy group's elaborate plans were utterly thwarted, their remote access severed, their intended chaos averted. In the ensuing days, the authorities, alerted by Elias and Eris, moved swiftly, apprehending Elias's betrayer and dismantling the network of conspirators. The public, initially gripped by fear as the near catastrophe briefly leaked, soon breathed a collective sigh of relief, unaware of the true extent of the averted disaster. Elias, humbled by his near-fatal arrogance, stood before the media, a changed man. He publicly acknowledged his profound mistakes, crediting Dr. Eris Thorne and his sister Lena for their pivotal roles in saving Chimera and, by extension, countless lives. He offered Eris a full partnership not just as a colleague but as an equal, a testament to their shared ordeal and collaborative triumph. To Lena, he offered a heartfelt, tearful apology, finally rebuilding the bridges burned by his relentless ambition. Their relationship, once strained, was now stronger, forged in the fires of crisis. The new Chimera was relaunched, not as Elias's solo masterpiece, but as a collaborative endeavor, a shining testament to humility, teamwork, and the paramount importance of ethical AI development. Its foundational principles were rewritten, ensuring transparency, accountability, and an unwavering commitment to human well-being. Its purpose was now truly for the benefit of humanity, driven by a collective vision, not just singular ambition. Elias, no longer propelled by the ghosts of his past or the relentless pursuit of individual glory, discovered a deeper, more profound purpose. He understood now that true innovation lay not in isolated brilliance, but in the synergy of diverse minds, in the courage to admit fault, and in the unwavering commitment to ethical responsibility. The under 30 seconds fix wasn't merely a technical maneuver. It was a powerful metaphor for the swift, decisive change in perspective required to navigate the complexities of a technologically advanced world. The final scene found Elias, Eris, and Lena no longer burdened by the immediate threat, working side by side in a brightly lit lab. Their faces, once etched with stress, now held a quiet determination, a shared sense of purpose. They looked towards a brighter, more secure technological future, having learned that even the most brilliant minds needed to rely on others, to collaborate and to trust, to truly overcome the most critical flaws. The shadow of the past, the weight of Elias's personal tragedy and his subsequent ambition, was finally lifted, replaced by a glimmer of hope for a future built on shared wisdom and collective strength.